going in and maximizing the honeymoon phase. You know what I'm saying? The honeymoon phase is something that we know exists. And if Lori is able to say, hey, look, man, I just want to ride the ride while it's fun. And I don't want shit to do with that long-term shit. After it gets boring, I don't want nothing to do with that, man. I don't want to have to deal with them problems. I see my relatives. I know how this shit go. You know how this shit go. You know what I'm saying? Let me give you an example. We have common sexual problems in marriages. Now, I believe it starts way before marriages. It should read common sexual problems after the honeymoon phase. And read it off the rip, it goes low frequency of sex. Now, this article, I'm going to share in the notes. I'm going to share you the link. Its definition clearly indicates what I mean by the honeymoon phase and it expiring. It says, for low frequency of sex, the degree to which you know your spouse when you are married to someone for a long time eliminates the element of surprise in your sex life. When you and your spouse know what to expect in bed, then the excitement associated with sexual intimacy takes a gradual dip. That's basically, in a nutshell, acknowledging, identifying, and defining exactly what I mean by the honeymoon phase and it expiring and the effects that it has on your relationship. And all the next couple of examples of what's the biggest complaints in marriages and after the honeymoon phase follow suit to exactly attributed to the expiration of the honeymoon phase, because none of that existed. 2, wandering mind. Another sexual problem in a relationship is that when sex becomes monotonous for the couple, they know what is coming next while having intercourse. That is when your mind begins to wander after a period of time. If it happens to you, it might hurt your partners at times. But again, we understand it comes again all associated with the honeymoon phase. Now, another one, partner skips foreplay. That's another complaint married couples have, primarily the women. Sometimes the sexual problem in marriages aren't really any kind of dysfunction, but the ways two partners perceive sex. If the problem is that your partner only just wants to stick it in after a long day's work, then that becomes a bit problematic. So we get all of that. Now, let's go back to the honeymoon phase. None of that shit existed in the honeymoon phase. None of it did. It was all fresh and new. The very first time very first time she drove over to his crib, she was wet in the car. He was hard on the phone. Because the next few one is inability to climax, which can then lead to him having erectile dysfunction because you're not into it. And then the last one is the loss of passion, because who the fuck wants to be passionate about it when you can't come and his erectile dysfunction is taking over because nobody's excited to have sex anymore because the honeymoon phase is over. So again, none of that existed during that time. I'm under the thought process of we should just be honeymooners. Because if you think about it, on all of your failed relationships, if you look back, the most engaged, exciting time was when it was brand new. Because you can only be brand new once. And after that, it's like the excitement of sex depreciates just like a car when you drive it off the lot. It will never be as exciting and suspenseful as it was leading up to the first time. Right? So these are facts. You can now I know women and men are gonna say, well, you need to do certain things to spice it up. But again, it wasn't a problem. The things that needed to be spiced up was not relevant in the honeymoon phase, because the butterflies were generated all by themselves. Right? You didn't have to practice. You didn't have to do something to spice it up to generate the excitement. It was natural because you had a new toy. Lori Harvey says, I just want the honeymoon phase. Fuck what society says I need to do. What is Dinah Ross' daughter? She was talking about why do women in society believe that a woman's sole goal is to go find a husband. It's okay, ladies. Have fun. I applaud Lori Harvey. She has come to the realization that all that other bullshit she wants no parts of. Honeymoon phase or bust. And you need to get on with the program. All right, well, hey, that's Ken Marshall, author Ken Marshall, giving you my take on Lori Harvey and Michael P. Jordan's breakup and Lori Harvey in general on her possible mindset, because I totally agree with her. Just get it in, get it out, honeymoon phase, and on to the next. Till next time, I see y'all.